This is why I want Ephesians 4. I want to stop the grieving. I love God so much. And the thought of him literally grieving, and I'm not saying that he's up in heaven, just sobbing, but I don't know if he isn't. I don't know. All I know is the word says that there's some way that I can cause this grieving in my God who has done so much for me. And I'm like, God, I want to change. I want to change. I don't want any malice, any bitterness, show me, God. If there's last week, I was just praying, God, show me, is there anything in me still? And he showed me. He goes, look, you're really bothered by, some of the stuff I'll see on the internet. I'll get so angry at people. I'm like, gosh, why would you do that? Why would you slander that person? Why would you? And suddenly I'm like hating on them for hating on other people. And I'm going, okay, God, sorry. Sorry, I want to see them like you see them. You've been so patient with me. You've forgiven me of so much. I want the best for everyone who calls himself a child of God. I want them to experience your grace. I love them. I'm sorry for grieving you and even feeling some of these things that I didn't even realize was welling up in me. But God, please, don't grieve anymore. Don't grieve anymore. I want to fix this. I want Ephesians 4 because, like I was teaching last week, this is what God has always wanted. All those verses I was saying, gosh, the whole idea of put away all falsehood and speak the truth to one another. He's quoting from Zechariah. He's quoting Old Testament. When it says, don't let the sun go down on your anger. Again, he's quoting Psalm 4. He's quoting Old Testament. And as I've been reading through the Bible over and over, I'm going, gosh, he's always wanted the same thing. He has always wanted the same thing. He wants to see humans that he created, like getting along with one another, loving him. That was the garden. He wanted honesty. It was when Adam and Eve broke the commands and they're hiding from God and they're ashamed, hiding in their shame. That's not what God wanted. And they're hiding from God. And he's calling out to them. It's been the same story over and over. Then he wants Israel. He goes, Israel, okay, now I want you to be different. I want this nation to be different. So when people come through Israel, because everyone's going to march through this place, I want them to see that you are different. You have different laws. You treat one another with fairness, kindness, mercy. He didn't get that. So then Jesus comes and sends his Holy Spirit after ascending to heaven. God sends his Spirit. Then you see in Acts chapters 1 and 2, really the birth of the church as they're sitting in that upper room and they're united. They're of one mind. And then suddenly fire comes down. You go, wow, this is it. And you read several times in the New Testament, early on, it says, gosh, no one considered any of the stuff their own, but no one was in need. They were just of one heart, one mind, and they were praying together, and there was power there. And you go, that's what God wanted. But then it quickly disappears. And all these epistles are showing, gosh, the church really deteriorated. But God's always wanted an honest group. And so this is why I want it so bad. I go, okay, God, you always wanted a group that just threw everything, exposed all the darkness, and we're pursuing holiness together and loving one another. That's what you want? Okay, I want this. And I can't do this by myself. It'd be one thing if he says, for instance, I want you to be holy, I want you to be close to me, and that would make me happy. That's what I've been after, is you. I just want a Christian on this earth, loving me, holy, set apart for me. If that's it, then I go, great. I'm going to go up in the woods. I'll, build myself a yurt and, just sit up there, and I'm going to just get away from all darkness, tell God how much I love him. End of story. But he says, no, I want you to interact with this love. I want to see humanity like I created them to be, deeply in love with one another. I want them to become like Jesus, the way Jesus treated people. I want you to treat each other that way. I want to see that happen. I want to see church. And then the other reason I really want this, one, I don't want to grieve him. Two, I know this is what he wants. But three, I want him to dwell here. I don't mean this building. I mean with us. We could be outside. We could be in our homes. We could be in a field. But I want him to dwell with us. And I see how in the Old Testament, he gave specifics. Moses, I want you to build the tabernacle like this. Don't be chintzy on the curtains. Don't be chintzy on the gold. I want this gold. I want these steps. I want this, I want this many, little rings for you read through all that. You're like, gosh, that's a lot of stuff. And, every time I'm reading through the Bible, I'm like, oh, okay. I get the general idea. It's just so many specs because I want it this way. I'm very specific. Only certain people can come into this place, and it's only this time of year. Do all of this. And once he does it all, the glory of God fills the tabernacle. Like God literally comes down in fire and consumes the sacrifice. It happens again with Solomon when he's building the temple. And again, very specific. Now this is the actual temple. You better do everything just right to the specs. Then once it's done, this is like one of my favorite passages when it says, fire comes down from heaven. And no one can even get near the temple because the glory of God is in that place. And I just go, if there's one thing I want to see in the Old Testament, there's one scene, I think that's it. What did that look like? What did that look like? Like from heaven, from the sky, fire just comes down and consumes, is inside of this temple, and all the priests and everyone outside is just bowing with their faces to the ground because it is blowing their minds. God is here with us. I go, wow, that's amazing. I want that. And then in the New Testament, he gives us specifics. Because I want you to love one another. I want you all to take all the darkness, all the lies. Some of you are hiding stuff. You can show up and pretend like everything's good. And you may even be in one of our house gatherings. We can fake it. But I'm going, man, I want to be with a group of people that just is honest about their lives. We've put away all falsehood. We speak the truth to one another. We let go of all bitterness, anger, wrath, slander, clamor. We're kind to one another, tender-hearted, caring for one another. Why? Because, you guys, if we do this, he could fill his temple again. It happened in the New Testament. When those disciples were praying with one another in that upper room, fire came down and landed on them this time. The temple. And everything I see in the New Testament is there is a glory that is available to us that Moses didn't even get to witness, according to 2 Corinthians 3. There's something greater. That's why I go, Lord, I want this. Can I have this before I die? So if people aren't serious about this and you don't care about that, then there's a lot of other places to go. A lot of other groups to be a part of. I really want to be a part of a group of people that says, no, I want this. That'd be awesome if Christ would dwell with us, because he looks down and says, that's what I wanted. Just like when he sees the tabernacle, okay, he did it. I'm going to enter in. Just when he saw the temple, oh, they did it. I'm going to enter in. Could we be that group of people like David who says, God, I want to build this temple for you. And God goes, there's a man after my own heart. He just wants me to dwell with them. Can we be that group of people like David and go, come on, you guys, let's be this temple. Let's put the lies away. Let's pursue this holiness that he's talking about, this oneness that he's talking about. Why? Because I want him to show up in some way that we have not experienced him yet. In some way that I can't experience just off by myself. There's something about the specifics of what he asks for in the New Testament that I go, God, I am chasing this, and I want this more than ever, and can I please experience this before I die?